I was in a meeting the other day and someone asked a question that kind of surprised me because this was a meeting of women entrepreneurs, some of which who'd been in business for years, and then there are also new uh, entrepreneurs there who are just starting out. But the question that someone put in the chat was, how do I know what my authority is? Or what is my authority? And so, since I do my coaching and consulting work around authority, decision making, and communication, this was a question that stood out to me because I just assumed that these were women who understood what authority was and probably had some idea of what their own personal authority is. But one thing I'm learning in this work, and as I meet more women entrepreneurs, more women founders, is that everyone isn't clear about that. There are people that actually don't understand the different dimensions and layers of authority. And then there's actually a lot of people who don't know what their authority is. Or maybe if they are in different points in their career or pivoting, into a different type of work, then their authority is different now. It looks different, it's positioned different, for that new role. So there could be a lot of reasons that people need to pause and kind of figure that out. So I wanted to give you some tips on how you can start to assess what your authority is, what that means for you. And the easiest way to think about that is to think about what you are good at. So for some people, it's a career that you've had for several years. For me, I've been a college professor for almost 20 years. So clearly, that is my authority. That's an area of authority for me: teaching, education, research. But I'm also someone who bakes a lot. I like to bake. It's a big part of gift giving for friends and family over the years. So people that know me closely also think about me as an authority when it comes to food, Um, so that's an example of the different kinds of authorities that we can hold. In your home, you hold a particular type of authority that's different from the authority that you hold in the workplace. So think about that. What is my authority? Sometimes it is your expertise related to something you studied or a degree that you have, but sometimes your authority is also your lived experience. So there are lots of people on YouTube and on social media who've just lived through so many interesting, difficult things. And now they can share their story. They can talk about how they made it through, how they survived, different things that they do to maintain, a better life and all that kind of stuff. So I always try to put forward like experiential knowledge as just as valuable as like scientific, formal, traditional knowledge. So do, think of that when you're assessing your own authority as well. What are things that I just know and I understand and I've learned from my own personal experience that I can teach other people, that I can help other people with, a problem that I can prevent other people from having to address because I've already gone through that. That is very valuable. People pay thousands of dollars to get support, assistance, coaching from people who have that kind of experience because there's nothing like lived experience. I can study for years, I can get all these degrees, rack up all these books I've read, but if I've never actually been in a situation that someone's gone through, there's always going to be a blind spot there. So experiential knowledge is so useful and so important. And it's really the new wave, I think, when it comes to social media yapping and narratives, is that more and more people are just being authentic. They're just talking about their lives, their life story, the things that have challenged them, the things that have moved them. Look, the sun is coming out. It's very bright now. Oh, this is much better lighting than I had in the the first few minutes of the video, huh? Summertime in Illinois. So I hope that this was helpful Um, and I hope that it answered that question for you. If you are someone that's wondering, what is my authority in the first place? Or maybe, my authority has changed over time because I'm a different person now than I was 10 years ago or 20 years ago. So, again, just to summarize, your authority can be assessed through your expertise that you gain through study, through career, work. But you can also draw authority from your lived experiences. So it can just be things that you're good at, things that people come to you for because they know that you are the person that has the answer. You're the person that can help them through that particular situation. That is really important. And that is how a lot of people are making lives for themselves now, developing businesses around their passion and their interests and the things that they just know. Not necessarily the things that they studied for years, but the things that they know because they've lived it. That's extremely powerful. So let me know what you all think and other questions that you have around authority. If you want to go beyond, understanding what your authority is and kind of think about how you can develop your authority, how you can codify it into your person so that it is just a part of your character. That is the work that I do with my clients. So there'll be a link in the description for you to schedule a call and chat with me if it's something that you're interested in. And I generally work with people around workplace issues, right? Understanding the complexities and hidden layers of work and labor. So thank you so much for watching this video. I will talk to you all again soon. Peace.